had set my phone down for a second, and he picked the phone up and he kind of saw what was in my bank account, and he was just saying like, oh, okay, big money, oh, big money, like, oh, okay, you got money.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me 'cause I'm impossible, impossible, impossible.
Hey you guys, it is your girl Mocha, aka Mocha.the Model, coming back to you guys today with another video. So, elephant in the room, I have been gone for a very long time, and I don't know y'all, so I started a new career and I kind of just been taking time to myself. So I apologize for the hiatus and I'm back. So, all right, let's just get straight into the video. Apologize if I'm looking at the viewfinder back and forth. It's so hard not to do so. And also, I know my nails look crazy. So if you see my nails, no, you didn't. All right, so let's just jump straight into the story. So as y'all can see by the title of this video, we're about to get into how this YN stole my sister's purse, stole my girl's pocketbook. All right, so let's just give like a little backstory on the whole situation. So I have a little cousin who we're gonna call Brandon for story time purposes, nowhere near his name. So we have my cousin Brandon. My cousin Brandon is, I think he might be like 5 years younger than me, probably about like 5 or 6 years younger than me. And he's probably about maybe like 3 or 4 years younger than my little sister. So when Brandon was younger, I used to watch him and keep him. And him and my sister, my little sister, used to fight all the time. We used to always get into it. We're gonna call my sister, I don't know what to call my sister in this. I just don't want to be giving out her information. Let's call her Sunshine. Okay, so Sunshine and Brandon, they used to get into it 24/7, like when they were younger and all of that. And now that they're older, they kick it all the time. They're always hanging out with each other and go out, go bowling, go to eat, just anything you can think of, they go do it together. Because they're closer in age. So Brandon has a group of friends. I'm not gonna give the whole entire group of friends a name. We're just gonna give like 2 of them a name. So Brandon has this friend who we're gonna call Yellow. And my sister kind of had like a little crush on Yellow. Yellow's a cute kid. My little sister had a little crush on him and everything. And at first my cousin Brandon kind of strongly advised her, like, I don't think you should date him. Like, I don't think that's a good move for you. And if anybody knows my little sister, Lord, I love her, but she does not listen to anyone. Or it's like, I don't know, it's like she's one of those people that doesn't listen until it's too late type of thing. She always, I don't know, she gets defensive. I'll get into that. So I kind of advise against her talking to Yellow because the area that my cousin is from is just kind of like, it's a very known place in the city I live in, or the state I live. I wouldn't even say the city I live in. It's a known area in the state I live in. It's pretty dangerous. A lot of stuff happens to people. Lots of gang activity and things like that. I don't know what all I can say on YouTube, but lots of stuff like that. So my cousin Brandon's birthday comes up, and me, him and my little sister are in a group text together, and they're talking about his birthday stuff, and they're asking me if I'm gonna come. Well, I'm supposed to be going on a work trip, and so I'm kind of like, yeah, if I end up not going to work or end up going on the work trip or whatever, I'll be there. So it ends up being where I'm gonna be able to be here for his birthday, but I'm just kind of like not really interested in going to the birthday dinner. I don't know what it was about why I didn't end up going to the birthday dinner. But in the text messages, he's like, oh, should I get a cake and all of this? And I'm just kind of in there like, oh yeah, you know, if you want a cake, this and that, like, I can try to get you a cake as like my birthday gift or birthday thing to him. I'm like, oh yeah, I can try to get you a cake or whatever. So I text my aunt. I'm like, oh, what kind of flavors does Brandon like as far as cake goes? No, I said, what kind of cake does Brandon like? She goes Cold Stone Creamery. Okay, not telling me enough. So then I'm just kind of like, okay, so what kind of, no, I say, what kind of cake does Brandon like? And she's like, ice cream cake. I'm like, okay, so what kind of ice cream cake? And she's like, Cold Stone Creamery. And I'm just like, okay, she's not getting that I'm saying like what flavor or what, you know, whatever. I don't know if y'all know, but Cold Stone Creamery cakes is like $50, $45, $50 cakes. Yeah, so I ended up texting her all of that. Then I go back to texting my sister, and I'm telling, first of all, I tell my mom, like, oh, I'm supposed to be picking up Brandon Cold Stone Creamery cake. And she's like, why would you be getting him that expensive of a cake? Like, yeah, I don't think you should be getting that. And I don't want y'all to think like, oh, why would my mom be like that? But it's just like, if you know Brandon, if you know how he is, if you know, my mom basically was like, oh, your aunt doesn't even buy cakes like that. She's never bought a cake like that. So why would she expect you to go spend $50 on a cake for him? So that's where my mom was coming from with it. Yeah, so then I talked to my sister, and she's just kind of like, yeah, nah, Brandon can be a little flaky. He kind of flakes, and I don't know if you should spend $50. Like, she's trying to break it down to me, like, I don't think you should spend $50 on a cake for him, whatever. So now I'm like, okay, boom, not doing that. I be trying to look at the viewfinder. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's easier for me to look at the viewfinder and talk. I don't know, I'm gonna be looking back and forth. Okay, so my sister's like, yeah, I don't think you should do that. And so I'm like, okay, scratch the cake, whatever. All right, fast forward. It's getting closer and closer to the time it's supposed to be his dinner. And I don't know what the reason was. Me and my sister decided that we weren't going to go to his dinner. I think it was like something like we were already late. And so she was just kind of like, okay, we're already going to be late. We're going to miss the dinner. And it was hibachi. So it's like, you know, when you come in late on hibachi, like you're late. So, she's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be late anyway, so how about we go to this little happy hour spot that's right next to the bowling alley, so me and you can at least eat, and then we can be right near the bowling alley, so we can just dip over there for when the second part of his party starts. I'm looking at the viewfinder again. So we can just dip over there for when the second part of his party starts. And I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. So me and my sister go to the little happy hour spot, we eat and everything. Ooh, excuse me. So we go to the happy hour spot, we eat and everything, we have a couple drinks. This is a drink at the place called the Live Laugh Love that I love. If y'all don't, I'm a huge French 75 person, or anything that is like topped off with a little prosecco is my type of thing, my type of time. So yeah, we have a couple of drinks and everything, we're feeling good. And now Brandon and his friends are at the bowling alley. So we head over to the bowling alley. Take a sip of my little drinky drink. Sorry if y'all see the lip gloss around the room. My little Puerto Rico glass. Boop, boop. I freaking love Puerto Rico, y'all. Like, I know people go to San Juan. Sidebar. I know people go to San Juan and they go to Puerto Rico and they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that, how do I put it? Because Puerto Rico is fun. Like, they got the little La Placita area for like partying if that's what you're into. Plenty restaurants, plenty stuff to see. But the thing you need to do when you go to Puerto Rico to ensure you have fun and go to the best beaches, because Puerto Rico has some of the most beautiful beaches. They're just not in San Juan. You have to go like out, like deep into Puerto Rico, or you have to go like off the coast to like Icacos Beach, Culebra Beach, and places like that. Anyway, so done with the sidebar. Anyway, so so we head over to the bowling alley. Ooh, my goodness. So we head over to the bowling alley, and when we get there, we get our shoes and everything, and then we head to the lanes where my cousin Brandon is. I see him, I give him a hug. You know how the young kids be. Okay, so may I add that Brandon and his friends, they're all of drinking age, but they're younger than me. And you know, my little sister, obviously little sister, she's younger than me. So they're like five, probably like 5.5, 5, 6 years younger than me. And my little sister is kind of like a little bit older than them. So she's probably like maybe 2, 3 years older than them. So that's kind of how the age ranges are without like giving away everybody's ages. So yeah, we get there and we're bowling and everything. I'm just kind of peeping seeing, you know, because I'm older there. Like, I feel like somebody's damn auntie. So like, I'm peeping seeing, looking around, just paying attention to everything. Mind you, I told you that my sister at the time was liking his friend Yellow. So Yellow's there. He halfway says hey to my sister. And, you know, he's doing his own thing. I look to the back. You know, we have like the little seating area kind of in the bowling area. I look over and there's like a group of young girls, a group of the young girlies, the young chicks. What do y'all call yourselves these days? I know what the young dudes be calling y'all, but I don't know. So yeah, there's like a group of young girlies. I'm like, oh, like I'm feeling so nostalgic. Like, I'm like, this is so cute. Look at the little girls sitting back watching them bowl. They're, you know, they here for the boys type of thing. How adorable, how cute. Because I'm feeling old as shit. I'm feeling like somebody's auntie. So yeah, I'm just peeping. I'm like, oh, all those girls are there for them and whatever. And you see Yellow kind of going back to the group of girls, talking to them. You see them all kind of going back. We know one of the girls is there for Brandon, because my sister explained the whole thing to me, like how he had like a little girl he was talking to and da da da. Mind you, he's trying to talk to another one of my cousins. Brandon was, which it sounds crazy, but it's just like, you know, you have cousins on different sides of the family. Like, they're not blood, obviously. Brandon and our other cousin, who we're gonna call Chocolate, they're not blood or anything like that. So yeah, that's irrelevant. I don't even know why I told y'all that. I need to regroup. I'm losing the plot. It's the ADHD. See, I'm seeing like, dang, Yellow's really not even talking to my sister, whatever. Who cares? It was never that serious. Like, I'm like, girl, he's a child. I mean, in my eyes, he's a child. So fast forward, it's time to pay for the bowling, or like they're still bowling and everything, but like we finished bowling and all of that, and I'm like, okay, since I couldn't get him the cake, I'll just pay for his bowling. So I go up to the desk with my little auntie purse. I go up to the desk. Oh yeah. Sidebar again. This is the purse in question. My Brandon Blackwood. I love this purse. I ripped it and Brandon them literally so like the top part of my purse ripped. I don't know how I did it or how it happened, but it was still within warranty. And so I said something to Brandon Blackwood and they gave me a $300 credit. And let me show you the purse that I ended up, the other Brandon Blackwood that I ended up getting with that $300 credit. I know we off topic a little bit, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna jump right back on the topic. Hold on. Look at it. So I ended up picking up another one. It's a little chain thing. And like, if you look really close, which I know y'all can't see, it has a little Brandon Blackwood on the little thing. Like, it's nice. It's so freaking cute. I love it. And it was pretty much free. I mean, pretty much free to me because my other little one was jacked up. They gave me a credit. I'm so sorry if I seem like scatterbrained and like everywhere. It's because I am. So let me just... Okay. So I end up going up to the desk to pay for the bowling, and I'm like, oh, lanes, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm trying to pay for them. And the guy's like, oh, it'll be like $38. So me being like, oh, okay, that's not really that terrible. I could have just paid just for my cousin's bowling, Brandon's bowling. But I'm like, okay, $38, cool, whatever. So I pay it. I go ahead and pay the whole thing. I get over there and I let him know, hey, the bowling's paid for. And he's like, why you pay for the whole thing? You could have just paid for I just wanted you to pay for me. You didn't have to pay for everybody bowling. I'm just like, okay, well, I already did. You're welcome. Because he never said thank you. Even after me saying that, he never said thank you. He's just kind of like, he's spoiled, y'all. If y'all know Brandon, he's just so spoiled. He gets everything his way. And it's probably why my auntie thought that I was going to pay $50 for a cake that she wouldn't even buy him. My mama buys the Cold Stone Creamery cakes and all that type of stuff. My mom is just really, she bougie. She got to spend too much money, whatever. So it's probably why he thought, you know, I mean, that's probably why, whatever, spoiled. That's the point. So, another woosah. Really back in. So I'm like, okay, well, you're welcome. Like, it's $38, it's paid, you're welcome. Mind you, the dude Yellow that we're talking about, he is not the purse snatcher. The purse snatcher is there. The purse snatcher, who we're gonna call Swiper, is there. And I paid for his bowling as well because I paid for all of the dude's bowling. I paid for the whole thing. Do you think I got a thank you from Swiper, Yellow, Mela, Chella, all the other people that, do you think I gotta thank you for? No. Okay, it's cool, it's whatever. Did it out of the kindness of my heart, but it's just like, be considerate. You know, like a thank you would suffice. You know that when you got done bowling, you saw that the bowling was paid for. Anyway, so yeah, I paid for the bowling, whatever. We're sitting there. I'm like, okay, girl, let's go. We're waiting in the car, like, for them to get done so we can leave. I think I had to charge my phone. So I had got a cord out of I had got a cord out of my cousin Brandon's car, and we went and sat in my sister's car and we're charging the phone. So we're sitting there. We sitting there forever. We like, dang, it's taking them a long time. Like, bowling's done. It's taking them a long time to come out. I guess while we were sitting there and we weren't really just paying enough attention, we did not see that Yella and Brandon had already came out, got in the car, and in fact left without saying anything. Children. That's what I'm trying to tell my sister. I'm like, you see how Yella was already in there, not really speaking to you. It was a group of girls there. Let's piece it together, two and two together, like what was going on. Left without saying anything. Rude. Okay. Boom. That night we find out, our cousin Brandon, we find out that him and Yella had got into it and all this stuff, and he's basically telling my sister like, this is why I didn't want you to talk to him in the first place, because this is how he acts, this type of stuff he does, da da da. So then my sister starts telling me the tea. She starts kind of like telling me a little bit about like all the hangouts her and Yella were on, because like I said, I was kind of opposed to it, but I was like, oh, Yella's a cute kid, I like the way he dresses, da da da. Mind you, I know these children a little bit because, and I say children, even though they are well above drinking age, they're just younger than me. So I'm like, oh, I know these children. I used to pick up Brandon and Yella and his little friends and all that up from high school, their senior year. Like, I'd pick them up from school, wait in the parent line like somebody's auntie, pick them up from school and everything. And my job, I'm not that old. Before we start, I'm not old. But yeah, I'm definitely the auntie status. So yeah, I pick them up, everything, and I'm driving them home. I'm around these kids, so I'm knowing like what they're on. So so she's telling me about him. She's like, well, yeah, you know, he doesn't have a car. And red strike there. Strike there. I'm sorry for all the young girls out there. Once you get to a certain age as a boy, you're not in college. I can understand if you're in college, you know, you got bigger things to spend your money on, so you don't have a vehicle or anything like that. Or you got a job going on, you got something going for yourself, you got a career going on, and you just don't have a car yet. Okay, that's reasonable. I can understand that. You're trying. But this kid doesn't work. He has no trade. He doesn't go to school, anything like that. Just doesn't have a car. He's just living off straight vibes. Doesn't have a vehicle. My sister's telling me like, yeah, so whenever we would go on dates and stuff, I'd have to go pick him up and take him on the dates and stuff. And like, yeah, a lot of times I pay, because I guess we were looking at it like it really just wasn't a date. It's just a hangout. No such thing. No such thing. I'm like, so she's telling me this, and I'm like, you were paying because he didn't have any money and he didn't have a car, and you were picking him up, and you were... I raised her better than that, y'all. I raised her better than that. I don't even play that. I don't even very much play that. So, I'm disgusted. I'm hearing everything. I'm disgusted. I'm confused. I'm knowing I raised her better. This is why she didn't tell me these things, because she knew that I would disapprove. Whatever. So, that is Yellow. That is the end of the Yellow situation. Yellow is not even the purse snatcher. Like I said, the purse snatcher was there at bowling. So now let's get into the purse thievery, the purse snatchery. Let's get into that. We're gonna call the purse snatcher Swiper. Keep it short and sweet. Keep it short and cute. Swiper. So my sister ends up coming to me. She's talking to me, and she's just like, oh, Brandon has this one friend Swiper, and I'm thinking about hanging out with him tonight. And we might end up going to this little happy hour, to our little spot, our happy hour spot, because my sister loves a good happy hour spot. So she's like, oh, I'm thinking about taking him to me and Brandon's happy hour spot, a spot we go to, da da da. And she's like, Brandon had also asked me tonight about going to the happy hour spot, and I don't know what to tell him because I kind of want to go hang out with his friends. So I'm just kind of like, your sister wants to go to the happy hour spot. Like, why don't you just take me? Let's just cut out the all that riffraff. Let's cut out Brandon. Let's cut out Swiper, and take your big sister to the happy hour spot. And she's just like, oh, but no, because we're me and Swiper are just trying to get to know each other, and da da da. Like, we, you know, it's not a date or anything like that. We just want to get to know each other. And I'm like, sounds like a date to me. And then she gets defensive. One thing with my sister, I don't know if this is just a Cancer thing. Y'all can tell me. I don't know if this is a Cancer thing. I don't know if this is just a people thing. But my sister gets so defensive when you're trying to tell her about decisions she's making. If you express disdain for things she's doing, like, you have to deliver your message in a certain way that doesn't offend her. And So she immediately gets defensive when you're trying to tell her about decisions she's making. She's a Cancer Leo moon, let me tell you that. So she gets defensive, and I'm just kind of like, I'm not trying to, like, I don't even know how to put it. I'm basically telling her, like, well, I don't know. It seems like a date to me. She's like, no, we're just trying to get to know each other, this and that, and the third. And I'm like, well, why can't I go? Like, so if you're just trying to get to know each other, I should be able to go to happy hour with y'all and kick it. I want to eat. I like happy hour. I like hors d'oeuvres. I like drinks. Why can I go? And she's like, oh, because I mean, we're just trying to get to know each other. And I'm like, are you not hearing how that more and more sounds like a date? Like, I don't get how you're not. What's not clicking? What's not clicking, Steven? So I'm just like, it sounds like a date to me. We get into this whole roundabout disagreement, and I'm like, well, I'm like, Sunshine, you're arguing with me, but it's like you're telling me you're trying to get to know each other. You're only claiming it's not a date because I don't know if he's paying yet. So what you're telling me is that he's gonna get your time. He's gonna get to hang around you. He's going to get to know you, and you don't know if it's a date because you don't know if he's gonna pay for it yet. Like, where did I go wrong? Where did I fail you? Where did I go wrong? I'm like, do you hear what you're saying? It's not making sense. But like I said, she gets defensive. I don't like to get into it with her, and don't like to get into arguments with her. Which now, looking back, no, we're gonna start arguing. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna tussle. You're gonna be mad. I've been looking out for my sister our entire lives. We're 2.5. We are exactly on the dot, 2.5 years apart. On the dot by the day, because we're both born on the 28th of our respective months. Both born on the 28th. So I'm like, we're exactly 2.5 years apart. I've been defending my sister my entire life. We went to high school together, and we obviously middle school and high. Well, no, middle school I don't think we did because we're 2 years apart. No, yes, I think she was in 6th grade when I was in 8th grade type stuff. I'm pretty sure. But high school, yeah. So it's like, even in high school, nobody would know that she was my sister. When people would find out, they're like, oh my gosh, y'all are sisters. Y'all are like night and day. And we even look like night and day. My sister's light skin, I'm darker tone. They're like, y'all are night and days personality wise. Like, you know, okay, I get it. I'm abrasive. I like to hustle. And she's like aloof, you know. So yeah, we were in high school, and people were like, oh, I didn't even know y'all were sisters until, you know, y'all said it. In high school, I would talk to my sister when I saw her, but I'd rarely see her. It'd be times where she's just like, yeah, this girl is doing this and that. And then I'm showing up like big sister, like, yeah. But I would show up to defend her and show up and be there for her and stuff like that. So back to the story. I'm just kind of like, I've always been there for you. I never failed you. I told you how men are. She act like she's scared to get guys to pay for something. She act like she's scared to, I don't know where she gets this from. Because never in my life. I don't know. Any dude I date, they know what's up with me. My boyfriend knows what's up with me. It never gave. Back into the purse theory. So she's telling me about that, and I'm just like, well, baby girl, it sounds like a date to me. I don't know what to tell you. Fast forward. I'm chilling one night. I'm on a work trip. I'm chilling. I'm in my hotel room, just kicking it by myself, doing whatever. She calls me. I answer. She's like, oh, my purse is missing. Someone stole my purse. Now I'm on high alert. Now I'm in big sister mode. I'm like, what do you mean someone stole your purse? Tell me the story. She's like, well, yeah. Well, I've been out tonight. I've been to a couple places. But somebody at this bar, we're going to call the bar, somebody had backed that ass up. We're gonna call it back that. Somebody had backed that ass up, stole my. We should call it that. What could we call it? The bar doesn't need a name. It's a popular bar in our city. So she tells me just like, oh yeah, my purse is missing, this and that. So I'm like, okay, let's stop. Let's regroup. Let's try to figure it out. I'm like, did you call the bar and ask them, hey, did you call back that ass up and ask them, hey, have you seen my purse? Did you find a purse? Anything like that? She's like, yeah, I called them. And one of the waitresses, she told me, yeah, we haven't seen a purse. This is and that and the third. I'm like, that's where you went wrong right there. No tea, no shade to any waitresses, because like I used to work at Hooters when I was a lot younger, so I understand this. I'm saying this from a personal place, a place of experience. I'm like, no waitress is worried about finding your purse. They get paid $2 and whatever an hour, $2.63 an hour or whatever. They work solely off of tips. They need their tables. They work solely off of that money at places like this particular bar. So I'm like, she's not, that girl, I'm sorry, that girl's not worried about your purse. So I'm telling her, like, girl, ask for the manager. Tell the manager, hey, I'm planning on filing a police report. Can I check your cameras? Whatever the case may be. And she's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that, I'm like, well, why haven't you been done that? Mind you, this is like almost, I think this is almost like 24 hours after the fact. So I'm like, why haven't you been done that? And so she's just telling me, she tells me that. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's get to the bottom of this. I'm like asking her questions. Do you remember when the last time you saw your purse? Do you remember this and that? So she starts breaking the story down, y'all. She tells me he came over to mom's house. He left his car there. And then he hopped in my car. He drove what? He drove what? She says he drove my car to the restaurant. Or no, he drove my car. He leaves his car and then he drives her car around wherever they're going for the night. I'm pissed. I'm disgusted. I'm disturbed once again. I'm just like, I raised you better than that. Why would you let any dude drive your car? To all the young girls out there, never let a man drive your car. That is crazy. That's nonsense. I don't care. Do not let a man drive your car. I don't care what the circumstances are. In this case, he had his own car. So I'm even more confused on like, why would y'all be driving your car when he has a car? He drove the car over to mama's house, left his car there, and took your car. That makes zero sense. There's no logic. Is there logic in the room with us? Type stuff. So she's telling me that, and I'm starting to be like, okay, so y'all were able to start the car. I'm helping her piece everything together. I'm like, y'all were able to start the car. Did you park close to the door of the bar? She's like, no, we parked kind of on a couple back rows. I'm like, okay, so you were able to start the car. I said, did you ever physically hand him the key? She's like, well, no, I always kept the key in my purse. I said, so you were able to start the car. My sister drives a push to start car. If for y'all that don't know, a push to start car, you cannot start the car up and pull out of anywhere without the key being present. Now, how do I put it? If the key was present and you already started the car and then you lost the key or the key fell out the car or something like that and you got home and then tried to start the car, that's a different story. It wouldn't start. As long as the key is in the vicinity, the car will start. The key's not in the vicinity, the car won't start. So I'm like, the key had to be there at the time y'all left the restaurant. So I'm like, yeah, first things first, you need to call I was like, you need to call, back that ass up back and ask for a manager this time and tell the manager you're going to file a police report and you would love to see the cameras. Like, can they watch the cameras back, or can you come watch the cameras back to see X, Y, and Z? Mind you, she can't leave the house because she doesn't have the key and it's a push to start car, so she cannot start the car. So I'm like, you need to call. So she calls and she calls, back their ass up, and they're like, hey, ma'am, so we watched the cameras back and we see you leave out. We watch you the whole time you have your purse. We watch you leave out with your purse. So you left with the purse. So now I'm looking at her like, sweetie, you know where your keys are at. You know where your purse is at. You know where your purse is at. Your purse is not in your car. You know where your purse is at. So I tell her, text him. Because mind you, this whole time he's been texting her like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Oh, my gosh, that's so, oh, my gosh. Oh, you don't know. Oh, my gosh, did you look here? Did you look there? Mind you, when she first couldn't find it while he was still there, when they got back to the house, they looked in her car. I forgot to tell y'all. So they had went over to, when they got home, they had went over to his car and sat in his car and talked for a while and everything, before they left. So I'm like, she had told me, I said, did he have, I asked her, because I'm like Inspector Gadget trying to get to the bottom of it. I had asked her, I'm like, so did he have on a coat? Did he have on a hoodie? Anything like that? She's like, well, yeah, he had on a coat and he had on like just a regular shirt under the coat. And I'm like, okay, was he wearing a coat the whole time? She's like, well, actually, no, when we were leaving the place and we got back to the house, and even when he got in his car, he never had the coat on. Red flags is going off. In my head, he stuffed the purse in his coat, somehow got it to his car. I don't know. So, regroup again. So she's like, oh, I said, so I tell her, this is what you need to do. You need to text him and say, hey, I talked to the manager at Back That Ass Up. They told me they watched the cameras and they saw me walk out with the purse. And period. Leave it at that. Don't say anything else. So she texts him that. The next thing this dude texts her is, oh, you know what? I just happened to look over and went and looked in my seat. Because he's at work at this time, mind y'all. He's working nights. And he's like, yeah, I looked in my car. I happened to look over and see. And I see your purse. Now, y'all can think what y'all want. Oh, maybe he just didn't look that good. He looked that night when her purse was first missing. He had all day the next day, 24 hours to look, while she's stressing out about her purse and asking him constantly, well, have you seen it? Did you look in your car? Did you look around? And all of a sudden, once she tells you, they see her walk out with the purse, now you're like, oh, magically, I happen to see the purse. Okay, now we're into how are we going to get the purse back? I tell her, hey, you need to call mommy. You need to tell her what happened. You need to tell her you took the purse. She hadn't even told my mom at this point. This guy has my mom's address. She hasn't even told my mom at this point that her purse is missing and that she believes that it's this guy that took it, Swiper that took it. So I'm like, you need to call mommy. You need to tell her and all of this. Like, y'all need to figure out a plan to get the purse back because it just doesn't seem safe for him to come to the house. Because she was planning on like, oh, when he gets off work, he come over to the house and they find a way to get the purse back, or he gives her the purse back. Mind you, in the purse is her AirPods, debit cards, ID, all of that stuff. So I'm just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, you need to tell mommy all of this. Mind you, like, in us talking about it and talking about him, she tells me like, yeah, you know, there was this one time where I had logged on to my bank account app and what is my baby doing? What is she doing? I was just like, oh my God, Sunshine. Like, does that not, for the ladies out there, anytime a dude is calling you big money, oh, you got money, oh, you got it, oh, I see anything, any variation of those phrases, red flag, red flag, red flag. Get out of there. You get up out of there and quick for your purse gets snatched. So she tells me this and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And we laughing. I'm just like, I'm not laughing. It's nothing funny to me. So she's telling me that and everything. And then she's like, and he even went on to say after that moment, like, oh yeah, I know y'all, I know how y'all girls feel about dudes saying that. I forgot y'all, you don't like when dudes say stuff like that. I'm like, Sunshine, he was telling you right then and there that he was going to snatch your purse. That's all, in my head, that's all I heard was that your purse is getting snatched. You're getting scammed. He's going to steal from you. Thievery. It's the only thing I heard in my head when you just told me that. I don't know how you didn't hear that. The alarms was sounding. The bells was dinging, ringing, all of that. So she tells me that. I'm just disgusted. I'm on the other end of the line, just like, all right, so we need to figure out how to get this purse back. I'm like, you need to tell mommy this and that. We hang up. I'm expecting her to tell my mom. I don't trust my sister to tell my mom because she has a hard time with like, when she knows she's wrong about something, because my mom has told her not to date any of our cousins' friends. I have told her. It just goes back to like, she gets defensive and she wants to not listen to you. And then until something bad happens, and that worries me. So I'm like, okay, I gotta take matters into my own hands. She's not gonna tell my mom. No, I call my boyfriend and my boyfriend is like, you need to tell your mom. So I call my mom and I tell her what's going on. She's like, told Sunshine not to be dealing with that boy's friends and this, that, and the third. I'm just like, well, I'm just telling you because she's trying to figure out some type of way to get the purse back, and she's making it seem like she's gonna have that boy come over here and get the purse back, and I don't think that makes any sense. That doesn't sound like a good idea. While I'm telling her, I don't realize that my mom is around my oldest brother. And so my oldest brother, me and Sunshine have two older brothers. This is the oldest one. So my older brother hears it, and he's just like, yeah, please. I just wish you would. Okay. Anyways. So my oldest brother was basically just kind of like, no, I don't want him coming back over to mom's. We don't know what he could do, blah, blah. I had told her, like, okay, let's fake pretend like you believe him that he just magically found the purse and make it be like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you found it. Like, okay, could you just bring it over and put it in the mailbox or bring it over and da, da, da. That was my plan. My brother overheard it, and so my brother was just kind of like, no, let's meet at a middle ground. I got my pew-pews. My brother has a lot of pew-pews. He got big pew-pews. He got small pew-pews. He has all types of stuff. He's like, we'll meet in the middle ground. Nobody's gonna pull a pew-pew out or anything like that on him. I just know what type of my brother knows what type of area and what type of lifestyle my cousin Brandon lives. So he assumed his friends probably live that same type of lifestyle or be around that same type of stuff. So, which, I mean, he's not wrong. So, he's just kind of like, I'll bring my stuff. He's like, I don't even have to get out the car. He ain't got to worry about me getting out the car, nothing like that. He just meet up, give you the purse as long as nothing crazy goes down. My PP stay in the car. Nothing has to be any type of way. My brother is a scary dude. I don't know. My oldest brother. And it's crazy because it's just like, he got sent away when he was around like 17, 18. Not sent away, but he got in trouble and he got to go live with my grandma. And like, so he was raised very differently than my other brother, my sister, and me. He's raised very differently. Loving, big teddy bear, but he does not play when it comes to his family. So I was very afraid for old boy. Like, I've watched my brother pull a pew-pew from under the car seat while we were driving in traffic because of road rage. So I'm just like, oh, what have I started? What have I done? I have a question. How did you ever get your purse back?
He brought it.
He brought it where?
Put it in the mailbox.
Oh, he put it in the mailbox. Why are you acting like you just woke up?
I did. I was dreaming and you woke me from my dream.
Well, sorry, ma'am. I just wanted to know. I was like, how did you ever get that purse back? I remember our brother was very on high alert. I was wondering.
Put it in the mailbox.
Okay, well, love you. Talk to you in a minute. Have you learned a lesson? What's the lesson?
You don't. Listen to
Listen to your sister. Facts. Listen to your sister. I love that we learned that lesson. All right. Love you. All right. Yeah. Listen to your sister is what she said. But, okay. Fast forward. It ends up happening where she follows my plan and she just pretends like everything is cool and everything is fine. And like, oh my gosh, I'm so happy you found my purse. Can't believe that. Da, 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 da. And he ends up, and she's like, oh, could you come put it in the mailbox and we'll just do it like that. He comes and puts the pocketbook in the mailbox and she gets it. And that's how the story ends, y'all. Like, that's how the story ends. I don't know what the moral of the story is. Moral of the story is, for me personally, me talking to any young girls, moral of the story is, stop talking to dudes who don't have a car unless they have a lot going on for themselves as far as school or career or things like that. They have a trade going on, something going on. Don't talk to them if they don't have a car, because why would you just feel comfortable not having a vehicle? I don't know. As a grown man, why would you not feel comfortable? Don't talk to them if that reason. Don't talk to them if they don't have a job and they're not, if they don't have a job and they're not in school or not trying to pursue something. Even if it's YouTube, Twitch, I don't know, whatever the young kids are doing. If they're not doing anything, don't talk to them. What else could I say? If they're not paying on dates, if they're expecting you to pay for things, don't talk to them. I cannot stress this to y'all enough. I promise Auntie knows what she's talking about. I can't stress it enough. Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't know. So yes, that is the story about how this YN snatched my sister's purse and pretended like he magically found it. Like, I don't know. So yeah, y'all leave me some comments, leave me some feedback. This is my first story back. I know it's a little rocky. I'm trying my best. So let me know what y'all think about the story time. Let me know what you think about the purse thievery. Let me know what y'all have to say about my my commentary and my what do you call it, my advice to you all. Let me know what you think. Comments are open. Comment, what do y'all be saying? Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. I have more story times coming. I promise they'll be in a lot more cohesive and a lot more order. Just my first time back, and your girl's ADHD, and this is hard. This is hard. It's hard to sit here and look at a camera and just sit and talk to a camera and no one's talking back. Like, yeah. So yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything from the story. I think that's pretty much it. So y'all have a beautiful day.